20 years have passed since a cataclysmic disaster known as the Shift transformed the Earth. This planet, once a paradise for human beings and animals alike, has become a nightmare. A swirling vortex of storms, fires and eruptions that threatens to devour what little life remains. And yet, life does remain. Animals, certain indefatigable species have proven themselves able to adapt in ways humans could not. One such species is the sugar glider, a small marsupial unusually adept at navigating this new and treacherous environment. Though sugar gliders, like all life on Earth, now balance on the brink of extinction, their still beating hearts offer us glimmers of hope, proof that no matter the challenge, life can always find a way. Like human beings, sugar gliders form powerful familial bonds. Adults and their offspring protect and nurture each other and cooperate in ways that enhance their chances of survival. But no amount of cooperation can avert some disasters. And where there is life, there is hope. This young family of sugar gliders is living on hope. With their nest destroyed and their father cruelly taken, they'll need every ounce of it to brave the dangers of the wild in search of a new home. Young gliders, or joeys, sometimes remain with their mothers until they are 10 months old. At only 6 months, our young glider will need more time at his mother's side to learn the ropes. Every step forward for this joey is a step into the unknown. His mother and baby sister are the only constants in his life. And his mother has the knowledge and wisdom that come with age. He'll still have to follow her closely. He's still young and has much to learn. Mushrooms and other succulent plant life not only offer nourishment to the sugar glider, but a path to follow. For where plants thrive, other forms of life can thrive as well. Jumping A precursor to gliding keeps the glider nimble and strong, skills he'll need if he's to survive this quickly changing environment. A spider. Though small, it has all the markings of the notorious Black Widow. The glider must master every skill in his arsenal to thrive, and one of his most notable attributes is gliding. He cannot survive without acquiring this primary skill. But to glide, he'll need strength, and strength comes from food. The forest floor, despite its dangers, also provides. Plump cloudberries fruit are chock full of nutrients and tasty too. This is Saviour Island, one of only a handful of ecosystems that remain. Its dense forests would once have offered cover and comfort to this young sugar glider, but no longer. The island is now a deadly war zone of competing species. The sugar glider feels most at home in the trees, and for good reason. The glider's whole body is adapted for the high life of the forest canopy. Opposable thumbs on his hind feet allow him to clasp branches and perform wonderful feats of acrobatics. With his gliding membrane, he can defy gravity itself and float on the air like a piece of paper, at least in theory. An excellent first attempt. The young glider has soared successfully from one of the island's trees to another, despite the dizzying drop in between. But the energy extended in this first glide has left him famished. Perhaps it's time to stop for a snack. A delicious meal. There's nothing like a successful hunt to put the spring back in your step. The sugar glider forges ahead with a new vigor. The glider has ventured close to the cliff's edge. The winds here are harsh. One wrong move could send him tumbling into the waters below, and because gliders can't swim, this would be a deadly mistake. The terrain is rocky and inhospitable, nothing like the smooth tree trunks and sturdy branches the sugar glider is used to. Crags, steep slopes and sudden gaps in the earth present a treacherous challenge. Up ahead, a scorpion. This creepy crawler wields a dangerous weapon, a toxic stinger that could kill the glider with a single jab. And this striking fiend won't let the glider go without a fight. This gutsy Joey has a battle on his hands. He's done it. The sugar glider reigns victorious, a testament to his rapidly developing skills. With a newfound confidence, he pushes forward toward the next challenge. Sugar gliders have powerful instincts that can alert them not only to the presence of predators, but to the safest paths forward. But instincts are useless if they're ignored. The glider must learn how and when to listen to these inner nudges. Finely honed instincts could mean the difference between life and death. Chilling cry was uttered by a bearded vulture, a massive bird that could crush the sugar glider between its talons like a porcelain doll. The young glider must stay as close to his mother as he can. At her age, she knows all the best hiding spots, and the inexperienced Joey will need all the help he can get. The vulture is a formidable opponent and won't be easily deterred. The vulture is aware of movement on the ground. It could spot the glider at any moment. Our Joey must remain quiet and hidden if he's to survive. Narrowly avoiding the vulture, the sugar glider can breathe a sigh of relief, for now. A lizard is in the glider's sights. He must tread lightly. These scaly delicacies are quicker than they look. He's done it. This wriggling lizard will make a fine meal for his mother and sister. A storm rumbles in the distance. The glider must move quickly to avoid being caught in its rages. A swinging branch attached precariously to a vine. For most animals, this obstacle would be impossible to bypass. A fall from this height would be fatal and not worth the risk. But the sugar glider is a masterful acrobat and light on his feet. This giant skeleton once belonged to a whale. The glider has never seen such a thing, and there's no reason he should have. But, sadly, the presence of this decomposed carcass so far inland is no mystery. Seismic changes, likely a tsunami caused by the shift, no doubt deposited this unfortunate creature onto the island. The poor beast perished here, unable to return to its watery home. What remains a mystery is how sugar gliders, these tiny, intrepid mammals, have managed to survive the Earth's upheavals, while so many others have failed. Unaware of the mystery surrounding his existence, the glider explores, taking in the strange sights and smells. By necessity, our glider is active during the day, though they are usually nocturnal. He'll have to use every instinct available to him to survive this strange and hostile landscape. The clever glider turns a log into a vessel. A little innovation goes a long way on this island. A pathway leads to a potential nest, but what hides inside those gently swaying grasses? A cluster of spiders attacks. With their superior numbers, they could easily overwhelm the sugar gliders. Insect and arachnid populations have risen precipitously since the shift. Many of the animal and avian species that would have kept their numbers under control have been wiped out. Aggressive arachnids in competition for their own survival are an ever-present menace to sugar gliders and other small animals on the island. Safe. For now. This spot isn't perfect, but good enough. Mother is showing signs that she's been bitten by a poisonous spider. The young glider, aware of his mother's predicament, heads back into the wild in search of food that may help her restore her strength. The habitat of the sugar glider has changed dramatically since the shift. Driven from the trees by torrential storms and forced to adapt to life on the forest floor, these tiny marsupials have shown remarkable up above, the open air of the forest. But to get there, the gliders will have to navigate this treacherous gorge. Remarkably, the glider catches butterflies but does not eat them. Instead, he stores them for later. Extraordinary. The glider has fed the butterflies to his mother, who now appears to be recovering from her spider bite. There is no reason a butterfly should provide an antidote for spider venom, and yet it appears to have done so. Is it possible the nectar or pollen the butterflies have been feeding on contains some hidden properties we are as yet unaware of? And how did the sugar glider know that this antidote would do the trick? The answers to these and up above, the open air of the forest. But to get there, the gliders will have to navigate this treacherous gorge. This tumbling waterfall presents a beautiful but dangerous challenge. Its splashing waters threaten to throw the gliders off course while drenching nearby nooks and crannies in slick liquid. Saviour Island is home to a wide variety of bioluminescent fungi. These glowing mushrooms, nature's nightlights, help guide the sugar gliders on their way. A complex relationship seems to exist between the gliders and these mushrooms. Sparkling sprouts that provide food, illumination, and perhaps, as has been theorized, something more. Despite these challenges, the young glider pushes upwards towards the open air. The glider and his family are finally back on solid ground. Now, on to the next challenge. This gully is dominated by a skulk of foxes. These ravenous omnivores would love to have our family of sugar gliders for dinner. The gliders will have to be quick and quiet if they want to avoid being on the menu. Mother has the right idea. Darting quickly from hiding spot to hiding spot right under the foxes' noses. It's a risk, but it works. Though foxes hunt, they are also skilled scavengers, adept at locating and then feeding on the decaying carcasses of other animals. Over time, the dead have become more plentiful than the living, and scavengers have come to dominate the island. But this imbalance cannot last forever. Eventually, food will run out for the scavengers as well. The future of life on Earth depends on whether small mammals like the sugar glider can find a way to rebound. A joyous reunion. Together once more, the sugar glider family enjoys some much-needed rest. The vulture returns. Its arrival is sudden, leaving the gliders no time to hide or even react. There is little chance of survival, a sad reality of life on this perilous island. This young glider is resilient, more resilient than any of us could have expected. But the loss of his mother and sister has affected him deeply. The poor Joey cries out, his unique vocalizations expressing his sorrow, but also sending out a signal to his mother and sister. He is alive and will be coming for them. There's no time to lose. The longer the glider's mother and sister are in the clutches of the vulture, the lower their chances of survival. The Joey bounds forward with a new determination to reunite with his family. A peculiar relationship exists between surviving species like sugar gliders and the fungi native to Saviour Island. The fungi seems able to influence these animals in ways researchers have yet to fully comprehend. It's as if an enhanced evolutionary process is at play, one that both strengthens these animals physically and heightens their instincts. Researchers have dubbed this phenomenon fungi symbiosis and continue to explore its effects. A whirlpool formed when two opposing currents clash. In this case, two low-lying rivers forced together by seismic shifts. This watery obstruction presents a potentially deadly challenge to the sugar glider. A wealth of amphibians live in these dank caverns, a bona fide feast for our young glider. A scarlet king snake. This species is non-venomous but still dangerous to our Joey. One of its favorite foods are small mammals like sugar gliders. The Joey will have to battle his way past it. The young glider is getting weak. Luckily, the forest floor should help him regain his strength. The quick-thinking Joey should prowl the woods for food, hoping these morsels will help him to be back on the road to recovery. An impressive victory for our little Joey. A tremor from the bowels of the earth sends rocks and streams of water pouring into the gulch. This glider must use all his skills to quickly reach the ground level before the rising water does. The vulture. Against all odds, the glider has managed to track down his flying nemesis, his mother and sister still dangling helplessly from its talons. Time is of the essence. The glider can only hope that his family lives and that somehow he can find a way to rescue them. Evidence of human beings, relics like these of some of our failed attempts at salvation, are scattered across the island. Human beings made countless attempts to maintain a presence on Earth. Sadly, those attempts ended in disaster. The sugar glider appears tiny and fragile next to these remnants of a once advanced and sophisticated civilization. And yet, he has accomplished something in his persistence on Earth that none of us could. The presence of cobwebs can only mean one thing. This is spider territory, and the glider must be on high alert. This quick-darting and oversized tarantula would like to make a meal of our Joey. To survive, the glider will have to be quicker still. Arachnids are one of the few creatures able to flourish since the shift. Insect populations have been out of control since many of the species that once fed on them have gone extinct. Spiders have moved in to fill the void. This perilous glide is another demonstration of the sugar glider's impressive skill. The vulture stops on an abandoned human edifice. Nature continues to reclaim what relics humans have left behind, though, curiously, some structures appear less vulnerable to nature's encroachment than others. It is almost as if these structures are somehow being maintained. The glider must find a way to scale these ruins. How else is he to track the vulture and rescue his family? The tenacious Joey continues his quest and is determined to rescue his family. On to the next glide. A sliding lock offers gives the glider an unexpected boost. The vulture appears to have stopped for a breather, the glider's mother and sister still in its clutches. But the pair of marsupials appear alive and well. There's hope. The glider must press on. He may yet be able to save them. An ingenious solution. The glider has found an unlikely ally in this large buck who doesn't seem bothered at all by his furry stowaway. This piggyback ride will help the glider avoid predators that lurk in the swamps. For now. The sugar glider retreats to the comparative safety of the trees. He feels most at home here, balancing on branches like a tightrope walker, avoiding what threats lurk on the ground. This lynx rufus, or bobcat, is hungry and on the lookout for preys that might come his way. Our sugar glider will stay protected if he stays on high branches. The tangle of trees acts as a secret pathway to safety for our dauntless Joey. mists of a waterfall provide a temporary respite. The storm is getting closer. The trees won't be able to protect the glider from high winds, torrential downpour, or lightning strikes, but Joey must act fast to avoid being caught in the tempest. The vulture soars over the island like a prehistoric monster, keeping far ahead of the valiant glider. This structure, known before the evacuation as Geo's Safe Dome, was once home to hundreds of scientists. What a find! An oasis teeming with life. The sugar glider must take every advantage of this plenitude. Our young glider is relentless. He won't give up, fighting and floating for as long as it takes to be reunited with his beloved family. This abandoned dome was erected decades ago by the Global Emergency Organization, or GEO for short. Here, human scientists mounted a last-ditch effort to stop the devastating changes to the Earth that threatened all human life. Sadly, those efforts ended in failure. And yet hope remains. The mysterious survival of species like the sugar glider suggests there might be a way for us to survive here, too.
Alright, well, consider this our meeting manifesto.
Nature has reclaimed Geo's once imposing dome. For the glider, it exists only as an obstacle, a strange series of branches to navigate as he continues his quest to rescue his family. Little does he realize the success of his quest means as much to us as it does to him. The glider is in trouble. This clutter of spiders threatens to overwhelm him. A fortunate accident. The glider has triggered a hologram left behind that may contain valuable information. The sugar glider's relationship to the island's fungi is a continuing marvel, though we have yet to understand the intricacies of this process or to fully explore its implications. Creepy crawlers have overrun the area. The glider must act fast if he's to find a way out of this mess. Like the sugar glider, some of the insects and arachnids on Saviour Island have shown signs of fungi symbiosis. a deeply intuitive and perhaps mutually dependent connection with the area's fungal life. This phenomenon points to an exciting theory that, if true, could lead to a human renaissance on planet Earth.
Geo-archive data, January 16, 2089, hour 10 a.m., alert code red. Scientists observed increased aggression in remaining animal species, potentially as a consequence of various toxins released in the destruction of our infrastructure. Geo asks survivors to stay vigilant as many sectors are no longer safe for humans. End transmission.
The glider has discovered the plans for a space shuttle meant to transport scientists from the island and from the Earth. Sadly, it appears these plans were never realized. Had this shuttle been completed, it would have held compartments for animal specimens destined for transport to the Ark. The glider has done well, managing to avoid the tarantula's terrible attention. The summit of Geo's towering dome provides an opportunity, a panoramic view of the island. There's a chance that from height, he'll be able to spot his missing family members. The worst has happened. A bolt of lightning has struck one of the island's trees and started a fire. This blaze is sure to move quickly with the strong winds. Our glider must be quicker still. Wolves. These perennial hunters are always on the lookout for fresh meat. Though the sugar glider won't offer much of a meal, on an island where game is scarce, the wolves are unlikely to turn down even the lightest of snacks. beneath the trees. Lost footing or a single miscalculated glide can land our Joey inside a pair of snapping jaws. And wolves aren't the only problem. The fire is progressing quickly. As the wolves circle and the fire spreads, the glider clings to the tree for dear life. As the fire leaps from tree to tree, our glider is running out of options. For the glider to hitch a ride. Improved his acrobatic skills since he left his nest. This once student at his mother's side is becoming a master. One of the most dangerous snakes in the world. This snake is fast, highly venomous, and loves to dine on small mammals like the glider. Our Joey will need all his skills to survive this menace. Triumph. The glider outmaneuvered the snake with a grace beyond his years. rats. These mangy, emaciated creatures are likely suffering from food deprivation and exposure to toxic chemicals. The glider would do well to avoid them. soars the vulture. Once more, seemingly miraculously, the glider has been able to track down his flying foe. The vulture sweeps through the air, casting its dark shadow across the land. It appears to be headed towards a large tree in the distance, perhaps the location of its nest. This tree is attracting a curious amount of attention. There may be more to it than meets the eye. decaying structure appears to be an abandoned geo-research facility. The glider must hurry past it. His family's lives are on the line, and there is no time to lose. these pack predators continue to prowl the island in search of food, the glider must remain vigilant if he's to avoid those snapping jaws. predators and infernos. The sugar glider can only hope his keen instincts will aid him in the final stretch of his journey. Predators are closing in. The glider must be ever on his guard. Using his instinct is going to help him find the proper hiding spots to stay out of sight. Travels forward, surmounting the seemingly insurmountable. Our hopes travel with him. His journey to save his family is our journey as well. The future of life on Earth could depend on what we learn from this tiny sugar glider's trials and triumphs. Godspeed, young Joey. Godspeed. Set foot on this stretch of Saviour Island in decades. Disasters caused by the shift made the area inaccessible to researchers. The wolves have become increasingly territorial. They seem to be protecting something, perhaps a recent kill. Their presence is a problem for the sugar glider, who must find a way to make it past these snarling carnivores in one piece. presence of numerous mushrooms. Could this be the Quercus fungi, or mushroom oak spoken of by missing researcher Appointee Hamilton? If so, we could be on the verge of a monumental discovery. It's possible this mushroom oak may be the only one of its kind. And it's on fire. As its bark burns to the heat, our the situation couldn't be more dire for the young miner. His family is stuck high in the branches of that smouldering oak. But our Joey is undeterred. He searches for a safe path forward, steadfast in his quest to rescue the ones he loves. And so the mighty bearded vulture falls into the flames, and with it, our Joey's beloved mother. Peace returns for a time to Saviour Island. The Joey and his sister rest and recover on the shore to the rhythmic sounds of the waves. Though the glider has suffered a great tragedy in the loss of his mother, he has gained strength and resolve beyond his years. Having surmounted innumerable hardships against all the odds, our Joey must once again muster his courage and face whatever challenges the island has in store. His sister is relying on him after all, and he will not let her down. As this remarkable animal gazes out towards the horizon, the rising sun offers hope for a new nest, a new home, and a new dawn for us all.